Buckle up, Buttercup. The ultimate symbol of true love? It's a lie. Today, we're exposing the most expensive scam in human history. We've been played. Picture this. It's Saturday night, you're at a restaurant. Mid-tier place, nice enough that they have cloth napkins. Not so fancy that you're scared to touch anything. You're halfway through your meal when suddenly the background music cuts out. Oh no. You know what's coming. You look over at table 4, and you see it happening. A chair scrapes back. The guy slides out and gets down on one knee. The entire restaurant goes silent. Phones come out. Strangers start filming. His hand is shaking as he pulls out a little velvet box. She gasps, hand over mouth. You know, the whole performance. And there it is. The ring. Big, sparkly diamond that probably cost him a multiple month salary, some serious overtime, and at least one mild panic attack. He delivers his carefully rehearsed speech. Something about forever, soulmates, his everything.
Yay!
She says yes. Everyone applauds. She's crying. He's crying. The waiter is crying. You're trapped in this moment of someone else's intimacy, awkwardly clapping while your pasta gets cold. But hey, this is romance in its purest form, right? The perfect ancient symbol of eternal love?
Wrong.
Here's what most people in that restaurant don't know, including the happy couple. They just participated in the greatest marketing scam in history. That entire tradition they performed is younger than the invention of the cheeseburger. In 1938, diamonds were basically worthless. If you proposed with a diamond ring back then, people would have looked at you like you'd lost your mind. Why'd you waste all that money on a rock? Are you okay? Do you need help? Most engagement rings had sapphires, rubies, or just a simple gold band. Sometimes nothing at all. The ring wasn't the point. The commitment was. Fast forward to today, and if you don't propose with a diamond, you're the weird one. You're cheap. You don't really love her. Your mom's disappointed. Her friends are whispering. Her mom brings it up at every family dinner. So what changed between 1938 and now? One company, one slogan, and a level of mass psychological manipulation that would make a Bond villain slow clap in respect. In 1939, only 10% of American brides got diamond engagement rings. By 1990, 80%. That's not a trend. That's not cultural evolution. That's cultural engineering. And the company that pulled it off? The Beers. Sorry, wrong image. De Beers. One of the most successful monopolies in human history. They didn't just sell diamonds. They manufactured the idea that you needed one in the first place. They turned a rock with basically zero resale value into the ultimate symbol of eternal love. And the way they did it is kind of genius. Evil, but genius. Rigging the game. Let me introduce you to Cecil Rhodes. In 1871, this 18-year-old British kid gets shipped to South Africa because his parents thought the warm weather would cure his lung condition caused by tuberculosis. But soon, he discovers something way more addictive than oxygen: money. At the time, South Africa had just hit a diamond rush. They found massive deposits. Diamonds weren't rare. They were pouring out of the ground like nature had accidentally hit copy-paste. Cecil starts small, renting water pumps to miners. Smart move. Everyone needs water for the mines and nobody wants to buy the equipment. He takes those profits and starts buying up mining claims. Then he gets the Rothschild family to bankroll him. Yes, those Rothschilds. The European banking dynasty looks at this ambitious sociopath and goes, "That's our guy." With their financial backing, Cecil continues to buy more mining claims. Not some of them, all of them. By 1888, he consolidated enough power to found De Beers Consolidated Mines, named after two Dutch farmers, the De Beer brothers, who were basically forced to sell their land when diamonds were discovered on it. Cecil literally named his company after the people he screwed over.
Savage.
By 1890, De Beers controlled 90% of the world's diamond production. But there's a big problem. Diamonds aren't rare, like, at all. The South African deposits were absolutely gigantic. And in economics, there is a simple rule. If something is everywhere, it's worth nothing. If De Beers just mined them normally and let the market work, diamond prices would collapse. So what do? They don't let the market do its thing. They build massive vaults in London and start hoarding millions of diamonds in them. They release only a tiny amount at a time into the market, just enough to keep the price astronomically high. This is called artificial scarcity. They also buy up every new mine before anyone else can. If a competitor refuses to join their cartel, De Beers floods the market with identical diamonds, crashes their prices, and bankrupts them into submission. It's the perfect monopoly. Control the supply, manipulate the price, eliminate the competition. It's ruthless. But here's the thing, this is only half of the scam. Because even with a complete monopoly, even with 90% market control, they still had one tiny little problem. Nobody actually wanted diamonds. In the 1930s, even with total market control, the demand was very small. Most people see diamonds as a luxury for the ultra-rich, not something regular people buy. They have no cultural significance, no emotional meaning, no reason anyone would spend a fortune on one. De Beers is sitting on mountains of rocks that nobody cares about. And what they did next wasn't just marketing, it was weaponized psychology. They hacked our brains and hearts. Quick question, if diamonds were actually rare, why are there 3 jewelry stores with stacks of them in literally every mall on Earth? Back to how they convinced billions of people to ignore that obvious fact. The brainwashing begins. It's 1947. A young copywriter named Frances Gerety is working late at the N.W. Ayer advertising agency in Philadelphia. De Beers is her client, and she's exhausted. She's just finished designing a series of ads. She's packing up to leave when she realizes, wait, she forgot the tagline. She's too tired to think. Nothing clicks. So she scribbles something on a piece of paper and heads out. The next morning, she looks at the paper. It says 4 words. A diamond is forever. Her colleagues almost rejected it. The grammar was weird. It felt off. But they ran it anyway. And that decision changed human culture forever. Think about what that sentence does. It doesn't sell diamonds. It sells eternity. It sells the one thing every human wants to believe in, that something can last forever. Your love, your commitment, your marriage. And if you don't buy a diamond, it means your love has an expiration date. Boom! They just made diamonds emotionally mandatory. De Beers didn't stop with one slogan. They launched a full-scale psychological operation. They infiltrated Hollywood. They paid movie studios to insert scenes of actors proposing with diamonds. They gave massive rocks to the Queen of England and celebrities. They positioned diamonds as the ultimate status symbol. Then came the finishing blow. A diamond engagement ring should cost 2 months' salary. Not a suggestion, an obligation, a rule. This didn't come from some ancient scroll. It came from a magazine ad. De Beers literally just printed a picture of a guy and wrote, "How can you make 2 months' salary last forever?" Let that sink in. A private corporation told us how much of our money we should give them.
Wild.
And it gets better. In Japan, a country with literally 0 diamond tradition, where diamonds had no cultural meaning whatsoever, De Beers launched their campaign in the 1960s, but this time they upgraded the minimum requirement to 3 months' salary. They were just testing the ground to see how much financial pain men were willing to endure to avoid looking cheap. And it worked, terrifyingly well. In the 1960s, fewer than 5% of Japanese brides received diamond rings. By the 1980s, over 60%. They manufactured culture and turned love itself into a product you could buy. The funny part? Frances Gerety, who wrote the slogan that convinced 3 generations that diamonds equal eternal love, never married, never even got engaged. She sold the dream. She just didn't buy it. And here's the thing about that dream. Those diamonds everyone's buying, they're not just overpriced. They're worthless. Why diamonds are worthless. Fast forward to the 2000s. New diamond deposits pop up everywhere. Canada, Russia, Australia, these guys didn't want to play by De Beers' rules. They started selling directly to the market. De Beers' iron grip starts slipping. Their market share crashed from 90% to around 30% by 2018. The monopoly is broken. So at this point, diamond prices should have crashed. The illusion should have shattered. Everyone should have woken up and realized they'd been played. But we keep buying diamonds anyway. The cultural programming worked so well that even after the monopoly collapsed, the tradition stuck. That's the real genius of the scam. They didn't need to control supply forever. They just needed to control our minds long enough. And then came the final nail in the coffin, lab-grown diamonds. Today you can walk into a store and buy a chemically identical 1-carat diamond for around $1,000. The natural, Mines version, $4,000 to $6,000. Same carbon atoms, same crystal structure, same hardness. One just took 3 weeks to grow in a lab, and the other took nature 1 billion years to make. And the panic is obvious. Suddenly the marketing shifts to natural is real. Lab-grown isn't authentic. It's not the same. Translation?
Please keep buying the expensive ones. We have warehouses full of them.
But chemically, they are basically the same thing. But the ultimate proof that you are being scammed isn't the buying price. It's the selling price. Try to sell your diamond ring right now. Walk into any jewelry store. You'll get 25 to 50% of what you paid. If you're lucky, often less. Why? Because diamonds have no liquid market. Unlike gold, which is a store of value that you can trade for cash anywhere in the world at a set price, a diamond is only worth what a jeweler thinks he can resell it for. And since he can buy wholesale diamonds for cheap, He doesn't want your used ring. So, diamonds are abundant. They can be mass-produced in labs for a fraction of the cost. The moment you walk out of the store, the value evaporates. The diamond was never the point. The point was making you believe it was. And they did, for over a century, to billions of people, including everyone in that restaurant. And it's still working.
Insane.
I'm Gigi, and if this video didn't give you an existential crisis, hit subscribe for the next one. And you might like this video too. And remember, real love doesn't need a receipt. Bye.